What's up guys, Viper FPV here, and today we are continuing our 7-inch build, and I'll leave a link to the first part if you missed it and you want to build your own 7-inch drone. So what we're up to on this is installing the camera. This is the V4, I believe this is the standard or mini camera. And then we also have a Unify HV we're using, one of the older ones, since I had that laying around. And we also still have to wire up our Brain FPV Radix flight controller. And I think that's really it. Oh, and then we have our Crossfire receiver as well, which I already did all the wiring and everything on it to make it just pretty much just solder it right to the flight controller. And then I also did connect my power leads to the VTX already to the PDB right here. And it does get filtered full battery voltage. Since this is the HV version, it can handle up to, I believe, 26 volts. Yeah, 26 volts. So it's not a problem running on 6S or 4S, 5S, whatever you want to run it on. So let's go ahead and continue with the build. And hopefully we can finish it up today. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go ahead and finish installing the Unify, since I already have pretty much almost already installed most of it. So we'll do that first since it needs to go over here anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in real quick so we can get real close to the frame and take a look. Alright. So the first thing I'd like to go ahead and do is I'm going to take these pads of these double-sided tape that these things come with, and I like this stuff. Is actually like really awesome. I wish they sold it. If they did sell it, I'd buy some of it because it's like once it sticks, it don't want to come off. So it's really cool to put like components on it. So we're gonna put that like right like that. I think it also helps with thermals too, like kind of like acts as like a, I don't know, transfers the heat from the Unify to the frame, so it kind of can dissipate some of that heat, because these things get hot. And we're going to put it just like that. Yeah, we're going to put it just like that. Actually, I should have shrink wrapped this thing first, shouldn't I have? Probably should have, before I put the double-sided tape on it. We'll see how it goes. Let's put it like that for now. Actually, yeah, I needed to put damn double-sided tape on it. Damn it. Pop it off. Hopefully I can save this because I really like this stuff. Alright, stick it there for now so it doesn't mess up. Let me get some shrink wrap, if I have any. I know I've used the crap out of that stuff. Well, I have one of those sticky tans. I don't have another one of those though. Oh, I do have one. Okay. I like the clear one so I can see the lights. So I got another one. Cool stuff. Thank gosh. And before we do that, I need to solder this little part right here on the what the hell, the IPX connector, UFL, whatever you want to call it. And I actually just solder it so it stays in place. You don't have to worry about it falling off. And I kind of just do the end. So I kind of go like this. Put a little solder on my tip, kind of a nice big blob. And I just bridge it, just like that. So it's like that. So I bridged it to the end, because it's pretty much ground on the end. So now it's nice and firm and it's not going to pop off on me. And then I can just take this like so, Actually, let me make sure I can go back and bend it over. I put this on there. Yeah, I should be able to. No problem. Trim that out. That's good. And I'm not going to use my hairdryer. I'm just going to use a lighter for now. Oops. Gotta be careful using a lighter sometimes, because it can just melt it. But as long as it's on there, really I just wanted it to hold this down. Really the reason why I put it on there. I guess a little bit of protection too, I guess from water or whatever. So that goes in like so. Let me pull this forward. And I did 3D print this, kind of a holder so I can put my antenna, just mount it right to it. Let me plug this in too. Make sure we have enough room. Yep, we do. So now we can put in there. Should have bend that back. And we can go ahead and put that in there. And since it has the screws in the actual connector, I'm gonna put some M3 screws in there. Need some small, tons of extra screws I have over the 2 or 3 years I've been flying. You destroy a quad, a frame or whatever, and then you just got all this hardware. I always save everything. If I crash or destroy something, I always save all the stuff, because you never know when you might need it. Alright, then we'll screw these down. This is my phone. Alright. Oop, that popped off. Probably put a zip tie probably eventually on it. Usually that double side, I kind of did ruin it though, popping it off like that. And then the other screw. So that's mounted in there good. So that part's done. And then we're going to go ahead and do is we can see, that's for the flight controller, flight controller, flight controller. I guess it's just time to mount the flight controller. Let me get some plastic little nylon. I've got some. Just plug that in. Alright, then we'll plug that in there. We'll mount that like so, because we don't need to hook up anything else up to the flight control, I mean to the PDB. All it really was just the, I guess we could have used hook the camera up to it too, I guess, but I'm just gonna use the flight controller as power. Alright, so that's that. Took that a little bit in there, like so. Whew, it's hot in here. And we'll screw these down. These screws are just barely long enough. Honestly, they're probably short, too short for this thing. But I'm just gonna kind of force it because I just don't want to take the whole thing apart and put different screws through it, or order new ones. It's really kind of tight, but I really don't like it. But I guess it's a little bit. It's better than. Make it just a little tighter. It does have a little bit of wiggle to it, so I guess we are okay. But I really don't like how tight these things are. It shouldn't be squishing. That's when you know you have it too tight. When they squish out like that. Yeah, I'll probably fix that later. Off camera. Probably put longer screws through here. Yep, that's what we'll have to do probably. Alright, so that's done for now. Let's go ahead and hook up our VTX up. So I'm going to go ahead and trim out these wires and see how much wire we need. And show you where we need to connect it. So looking here at this, we have, this is where the receiver is going to hook up, right here. Receiver is going to hook up right here. And then we have our ground 5-volt video in, camera control, video out, transmit 1, receive 1. So we're going to be going ahead and hooking up video out. Is going to be for the yellow. And I guess this ground wire we actually do not need. I can cut that off. We can put that, we can just kind of cut that real short. We actually do not need that. It's already connected to ground. And I'm not using the 5-volt out either from this. So all we have here is video out, well, video going into the to Unify, and then we have our smart audio wire. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to route these onto this side, and we're going to connect it on this side of the board. Once I can grab it. Alright, that one. And that one. Okay. So we'll go ahead and strip these up, cut them, trim them to length. Probably go like right there. And right there. This like, oh, it's filament from a 3D printer. Alright, I'm going to strip that up. Same thing on this side. Oops. A little more on that. There we go. Alright, let me get my soldering iron. And pre-tin that, and then pre-tin where I'm going to hook them up to. So right here, video out, and we'll use TX1. smart audio. Melt the stinking screws. Alright, good enough. I had to grab this thing without it popping back in there. Come on. There we go. Slide that on there. And video out. Alright, let's get those two done. Kind of bend those in there so they're nice and tight. Alright, so we got our BTX all wired up. Let's go ahead and get our... Do the receiver, or should we do the camera? I think we should do the camera first. Let's go ahead and get the camera out. So this is the camera we're going to be using. Right here, brand new. I love brand new cameras. Let me get all the plugs and stuff out. Two side plates here. This is gonna go like so. Yeah. It only goes one way. It goes like that. Okay. So let's see how the holes line up. I'm trying to see this. Okay, so it lines up like that. Get our screws in there and our washer. Actually, I don't know if we'll need the washer. See how long these are. No, we won't. Alright, so I put the antenna on. That was a pain in the butt to get this thing lined up because I had to use both screws here, like offset, and it was just a pain in the butt, so I just kind of cut it out. So we got that on there between the two plates, and all we have to do is kind of trim these up to solder right to these 3 pads here. I'm not going to be using camera control, but if you do want to use camera control, it is marked by the CC pad right there. So let's go ahead and cut this wire, and then we can strip it up and then connect it. So do about right there, and then we can go ahead and strip it. And the video wire. Alright, 3 stripped. Okay. Let me get there real close and solder these on there. Pretend the little wires. And then let's pretend the pads here. All right. Use some. Well, I left my needle pliers in the garage, so I'm just gonna rotate this so I can do this nicely. So we got ground right there. Power. Which is 5 volts. And then we have our, oh, that didn't even, that's weird. And then we can do our video. Oops. I melted the little plastic little thing a little bit. I do that all the time on all my builds. I always do that stuff. Alright, so we got that on. So we have our camera, we have our flight controller, and then we just have our receiver. And for right now, I'm just going to mount the Immortal underneath an arm. So we're just going to kind of mount it underneath this one back here for now. And then we'll kind of just let it, well, I guess we can just put it underneath the, maybe by the VTX for now. And we fix this so it's the right way. Where the button's that side up. We'll just put that there for now, like so. Just so I kind of have an idea where I want it. And then we can trim these wires back. All right. All right, got all those stripped. And then we'll go ahead and pretend these wires. Kind of being careful not to get a blob on my flight controller, because that would suck. Okay. And then we can go ahead and put our ground to the black to the ground. Our red to the positive. And then our receive, which should be transmit, so the receive, so that would be this one. Clean that tip off a little bit. And then our receive to our transmit pad. And this is the crossover. Alrighty. So we got that like so. Then what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to get some zip ties and zip tie the this is going to be temporary because I want to get a GoPro mount that actually has this built into it. I just haven't made, I mean I made a GoPro mount, but it came out really crappy. This is for a GPS up there and some straps, but it just too many supports and it just didn't, my support things do not come out really good. So I like to make GoPro mounts with little support as possible because it's just a pain in the butt to remove. I mean, I've been doing 3D printing for about a year now, it's still kind of new because I usually just want to print parts and I really don't have the time to learn how to do it. And make supports correctly. Where's my other zip tie? So I'm pretty much just zigzagging these kind of across, like so. Like so. It's not the prettiest, but it does work. Gets it out of the props, and it gets it out of everything. So, trim that up. Trim that up. And then we can go ahead and get our wire tucked to where it's not going to get caught in a prop. Like so. Guess that'll be good enough for now. Like I said, this is just a temporary spot for it for now. Let's see if I can get a zip tie around this whole back part here. Just to give it a little more. Yeah, that's good enough. That's good enough for now. Like I said, I'm going to be moving it around. Okay. Alrighty, so that's pretty much it for electronics. So we can show the soldering iron. We can go ahead and put our top plate on it. And actually we do still have to solder the XT60. So let's go ahead and we'll do that here in a second. So I'll put the top plate on and get it all sazzied up. It's looking really good. Let's go ahead and zoom out so you guys can see. Starting to get really, it's gonna put a battery strap on it really, and it's looking good. I'm not gonna put the GoPro mount on it just yet. Like I said, I have to still print that, so that won't be in the build. But it'll look something kind of like this. I'll definitely make one that fits the top plate, but it'll look kind of something like that. So that one just came out crappy. All right, and then let's go ahead and put our antenna on the back here. I'm just using, right now I'm just using this antenna. I'm using a TBS, one of the older ones, stubbies. There we go. All right, pop that up a little bit. Okay, and then let's go ahead and get the, see how we're gonna mount. Let's get our battery strap on there. For now, we'll probably use 2 battery straps, but I just want to get where the battery's gonna go in. And there is slots on this one for battery straps, but I can't stand using them. So we're just gonna do this for now. Okay, looking good. Let's put a battery up here and see how we look with the battery. For now, I just want to see how my wiring is going to go. You know what, I think that actually would work if I just kind of went through here. Yeah, I'm going to leave it at the length that it is. And we're just going to go ahead and put that on there. So let's go ahead and get an XT60 real quick here. If I have one, I better have one. Let's see. There we go, got one. Almost didn't have one. Alright, let me get my little handy dandy thing out here quick. I'm going to move the camera just a little bit. Just going to find my soldering jig. There we go. This is a little soldering jig you use for XT60s or XT30s. You put it in there like that, and you can put your solder on there. Comes in real handy. And then we got our shrink wrap. Get some shrink. That should work. Go ahead and cut that to length. Like so. We'll zoom in a little bit. All right. So I'm going to put some solder on this. All right. We'll gotta strip these wires. Okay, and let's pretend these. This takes so much heat. You want it strong, you don't want it to pop off, you know. All right. Get my tweezers out. We can go ahead and make sure we got this on the right one. Actually, I didn't put the heat shrink on there before I forget. How many times have you done that? Leave it down in the comments. How many times have you put a wire on and forgot to put a heat shrink on? I bet y'all get tons. All right. Let's go ahead and do that. Move this over a little bit. This is the positive, and that is the negative. Yep, so we're right. Let's go ahead and just give it some heat. Let that harden. All right, and then we're to the next side. I do not know if my hands are in the shot or not. No, my head's in there. So that's done. Then we can go ahead and put these over. Get my little lighter out and we can go ahead and shrink those up. It's great about silicone wire, doesn't burn. Alright. So that is pretty much it. The build is done. So let's go ahead and do a weight on it. See what we got here. And then go from there. A little hot. Alright, so let me get my scale out. So I know everybody's probably interested in how much this thing weighs. Alright, so 427 grams. If we add a GoPro mount, say 448, and then if we add a GoPro, if I can find it, let's see, where's my GoPro? Here it is. If we add a GoPro onto it, 521 grams minus the props, that will be maybe another 20 grams or so for the 7-inch props, but that's not bad for a 7-inch, considering some 5 inches are around 300-ish, so 100 more grams, 7 inches, not bad. But that is it for the build of the 7-inch long-range drone. I'm going to be taking this out for a maiden, hopefully real soon. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll leave links to everything I use in this build. I think the motors are like 20 bucks, I think now. I think originally they're like $26 motors. Now they are made by T-Motor. They are Racer Star, but they were made by T-Motor. And then this frame is a knocked off clone frame, I believe, of the iFlight frame. I don't like using clone frames, but it is what it is. And then the stack is the not the Brain Radix with the PDB, and then we have the SpeedX 35 amp B-Heli 32 ESCs. So this thing is definitely a nice build. So look forward to flight. Let me know if you have any questions. Leave it down in the comment section down below. And I'll see you guys in a future video. And if you're curious about how to set this thing up on Betaflight, I have tons of videos on Betaflight, so I'll leave those down in the links below as well. But I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you guys in a future video. Peace.